That's definitely the quick thinking and adapting yourself to the situation that's changing, but also just how to talk to a lot of different kinds of people. Sometimes you don't get along with people, but you have to because of the association. So you learn that as well. It's not always the most fun, but like I said, afterwards you just learn a lot, and that can only help you in your future life or career even. So yeah, that's just part of the job, but I think everybody has that to a certain point.
One thing I definitely learned in my board year was the fact that it's kind of funny because you learn how you function in a group, and so you learn the plus sides that you have. So for instance, I think of myself as someone who is kind of creative in solving certain issues, and that can really shine through in a group. But at the same time, you really have to come to terms with the more negative sides of what you bring to a group. So for instance, my planning is terrible. I'm very, very bad at managing my time. So I had to learn that it's okay to admit those mistakes and to actually ask for help from the people in your group who might be good at those kind of things. So yeah, definitely learning your role within the group is something you really have to learn and get to learn in a board year.
I think one of the most important lessons I learned during my board year was to feel responsible for a group of people. And even though EPU is a small association with less than 100 members, you as a board are still responsible for organizing nice activities, helping those students navigate the sometimes difficult environment of the university. I think a feeling of responsibility for students in that particular sense is something I really learned during my board year, and also something I used this year in my faculty council year for Letteren Vooruit. Just feeling responsible for your students.
I think there are a lot of things that you'll learn from your board year, but mainly it's just some, again, even if it's just on a small scale, some real life practical stuff that you maybe don't really learn from your studies in university, but I think are still very useful later in life.
Working together. Not that I couldn't work together before, but right now I feel like the things I've learned from this board year is working together on such a tight-knit group. It has learned you a lot about how to work together effectively, do some strategizing, how to really create an effective team. And I think that's an invaluable skill.
From my board year, I learned that I can handle way more responsibility than I thought I could. A board year challenges you to juggle university, serious board stuff, but also fun board stuff. You get to do a lot of social stuff. You have to combine with that your already existing personal life and then also sometimes work, which I did not do. And the responsibility of being on the board motivated me to do well in all of those aspects. And sometimes this is hard, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but it did show me what my limits are, which I think is fun to explore during a board year, because you have responsibility, but you also have your friends on the board who can help you do stuff if you are not able to do it on your own. And I think that's a really good preparation for other work environments. Yeah, it really taught me how capable I am under stress and where my personal boundaries are, and what I'm good at and what I'm not. So public speaking, leading meetings, it allows you to explore those things, and that's really fun.
Social skills, working together, definitely. Teamwork is really, really important. Communication within that team is really important. That's something that I definitely learned that year. Because if you're a small group that has to work together really closely for quite a long time. So that's definitely a really valuable lesson that I've learned.